So YouTube is starting to give your girl some love. So I recently posted this video here that, as you can see, is slowly climbing. And I rarely ever post any videos about my body and my experience. As a matter of fact, it was a vulnerability post in which I was posting to hold myself accountable for this weight loss journey that I'm going on. A lot of you have seen, me talking about my low iron experience. I got an IUD, and you guys know what hormones does to the female body. So physically, your girl has been going through it. But I've been very self-conscious about my body ever since I was younger, and this was a lot of stuff that was instilled by my mom and family members. I was considered a gymnast and someone who had a higher muscle mass, so everybody called me muscle woman. I always seemed to had weighed a little bit more. And in the Black family, they sit there and tell you, oh, you're big boned or whatever the case may be. And that is not always the case. However, there has to be some truth to this, because I feel like the density between our bone structure and our mass or muscle mass is different than medically and historical insights on what body mass should be. That's not actually reflected for us. But I say all this to say, I think the reason why the video is going viral, because the representation of me being at 208 pounds is not what your typical or average person thinks a 208-pound woman would look like. Not only is that vulnerability post showing what a woman's body truly looks like, but it is also giving medical systems and other people's perception a viewpoint that maybe they've never undertook. By me being honest with sharing the numbers on the scale, which I hate doing, just because, people are more obsessed with the numbers as opposed to visual representation. And then most people think someone over 200 pounds or women who weigh over a certain amount than what most men think we should, they have this misconception that we're not active or people who don't move their body. And that is further from the truth. And as someone who their average weight scientifically or clinically should be between 130 to 150 or so pounds, I'm going to be honest with you, I would look like a skeleton. So I'm saying all this to say representation matters. I'm so glad that I made that post, which of course is always the videos that you would never think will go viral are the ones that do. But people seeing themselves within me. And, me moving past the numbers on the scale and sharing this allowed people to say, I finally see a body that looks like mine. But not only that, clinically speaking and medically speaking, we need to do better. The representation of the numbers as far as body mass and, what's the average or healthy weight is not reflecting